Good evening, baseball fans. Welcome to Ironman Field. After what feels like a eon of a break, it is Game 1 of the New Brunswick Senior Baseball League Semi-Finals, as the Saint John Alpines are in town representing the third seed, taking on the second seed, your Chatham Miramichi Honda Ironman. Just waiting for the umpires to come out here and do their thing. Then we're going to get ready for first pitch. Voice of the Chatham Miramichi Honda Ironman, Chris Jardine here alongside the best color man in the business, Jake Dignam. And Jake, while we wait for O Canada here, what are your keys to the series?
Well, welcome back, Chris. Obviously, almost a month off for us, so it's good to see you in the booth again, and welcome back to all the fans tuning in.
Yes, sir.
Keys to the series, Chris, are going to be pretty simple for the Ironman. It's going to be keep doing what you were doing. Good pitching, good defense, and hitting with runners in scoring position is an easy recipe for success. So that's what we're going to be looking for tonight in Game 1 as Julio Hernandez takes the mound against St. John's Hayden Dow.
Yeah, battle of the aces here. On one side, Hayden Dow, you have the NBSBL leader in strikeouts and ERA, and on the other side, you have the man who was second in strikeouts, second in ERA, and led the NBSBL in wins with 6. And Jake, I think part of what we're going to see here, is for the majority of these guys, I mean, it's been almost a month since they've played meaningful baseball outside
Absolutely.
of the two, Dow especially, and obviously like Matt Beach has been staying active with the Saint John Alpines junior program as they won the New Brunswick Junior League. But other than that, how do you think a 3.5, 4 week layoff? We're going to see some rust here early. Does that maybe play into Dow and Hernandez having to get out to quick starts here tonight?
Yeah, I think definitely, baseball is such a tough sport as it is, and with a 3 to 4 week break, you're not seeing live pitching. You're facing the guys in your team in some inter squad games or some junior arms, but you're not really game speed. And so I would expect the first couple innings to kind of everybody get their feet back underneath them, and I would say that Julio and Hayden Dow both have the upper hand to start this game.
Yes, sir. Well, we're just, like I said, we're waiting for, as you can see on your screen, we're waiting for the umpires to finish up their little pregame meeting here. And then we will have O Canada, and then we will get to baseball. And so we're going to have the national anthem here. So Jake and I will be back in just a moment here with first pitch. Actually, we're going to have the New Brunswick Senior Baseball League president, Tom O'Reilly, is here to hand out some awards. So that's going to delay proceedings here. And I believe there is quite a few awards here. There's Nick Leggett receiving his All-Star First Base Award for the season. And couple All-Stars on the Ironman side here. We'll take our sweet time waiting for Brian Richard to get out here for the picture.
On the other side, Chris, from the Saint John Alpines, we have league MVP Hayden Dow as well.
That's right.
We forgot to mention in the.
And I wonder if Tom will be handing those out tonight, or if he'll be waiting to hand those out in Saint John on Wednesday. There's Chris Keating receiving his All-Star Shortstop Award. Again, this series was supposed to have started Saturday night, Friday night, Saturday night. I don't know.
Saturday night, 7:00.
Saturday
maybe?
night, and then Julio Hernandez will receive his award for All-Star starting pitcher. Yeah, the series was supposed to have started Saturday, postponed due to rain. Supposed to have started yesterday, postponed due to rain. We will get Game 1 tonight. Game 2 is in Saint John on Wednesday, and then Game 3 will be back here at Ironman Field on Friday. With the other series between Charlottetown, and we're just going to keep giving out awards here. So as Chris Keating gets his RBI Leader Award. Yes, the other series, as the Charlottetown Islanders take on the Fredericton Royals, and that series is 1-0 Charlottetown, with Game 2 being held at Royals Field here tonight. And we're keeping our eye out. I do believe there is a stream for that, so we'll keep you updated on that throughout the evening. And we're going to have the national anthem here. Around to face me here. All right, we are ready for baseball here, folks, after some awards and some chatter and getting things ready. And we'll take a look at the starting lineup for the Saint John AJ's Alpines. Adam Clark leading off, playing second base. Connor Hill is batting second and playing short. Matt Beach playing center field, batting third. Mark Legier is doing the catching tonight for the Alpines, batting fourth. Ryan Scott is in left field, batting fifth. Ryan Galbraith is batting sixth and designated hitting. Enos Hayden batting seventh and playing right field. Chase Blucher, the affiliate from junior, playing third, batting eighth. And Connor Huckins batting ninth, playing first base. And again, Hayden Dow will handle the pitching duties for the Alpines. We take a look as the Ironmen get ready to take the field here. Usual suspects out in the field. In the outfield, left to right, it's going to be Jake Cook in left, Mike McKay in center, and Zach Goss in right. Across the infield, Logan Walsh at third, Chris Keating at short, Charlie Mollison at second, Nick Leggett over at first, and Jeff Watkin will be doing the catching duties. Yeah, Travis, game 2 is 8 p.m. on Wednesday, and then game 3 will be 8 p.m. on Friday back here at Ironman Field. Again, the weather looks pretty good this week, so knock on wood, let's hope we don't get any interference there. Taking the ball for the Ironman, import Julio Hernandez, 57 and 2/3 innings in the regular season. Again, led the New Brunswick Senior Baseball League with 6 wins, a 6-2 record, a 1.94 ERA. And Jake, the big key for Hernandez here early, get ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. Strike one is the most important pitch in baseball. And Julio, who's been around the zone a lot this year, aside from that last outing we saw him here, Chris, kept the walks to a minimum. That's going to be very important tonight. Saint John has quite a bit of power in the lineup. And, a solo shot doesn't kill you, but a walk, a hit, and then a 3-run shot, could be the difference in the game. So really important for Julio to make sure he limits the base runners and limits the free passes tonight.
Yeah, that's going to be the key. Again, both of these teams do a fairly good job at getting on base. I think one of the things we're going to have to look at here early, the Ironmen in the regular season hit .312. The Alpines 278, but have a clear advantage in home runs, 22-14. So if the Alpines can get Julio into fastball situations and, be able to sit back and, again, take advantage of that power that they possess.
Yeah, absolutely.
Again, we're all going to see it play out live here, folks. As Adam Clark is going to step in here to lead it off. As finally we are back to baseball here at Ironman Field after a month and a week layoff since the last home game.
That chills in the air.
Here we go. Good crowd here at Ironman Field. Again, thank you all for joining us. If you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, we appreciate you. Clark hitting .250 in the regular season. There's a big swing and a miss. Had a fastball down the middle from Hernandez for strike one. Clark did have a home run, 18 runs scored, 16 hits, 6 of them for extra bases.
And with that first swing, not looking to shoot one the other way, looking to jump Julio on that first pitch.
That is a slider down and away. Andrew Downs calling balls and strikes here tonight. Brian Cummings is umpiring down the third baseline. Craig Hope down the first baseline. First time we've seen Hopi here this year. Is, I believe, 51st year of officiating.
Wow.
That is right on the inside part of the plate. Bit of a delayed strike call there from the home plate umpire. 51st. Somebody might correct me. 51st. I was between 51st or 52nd. And hey, just so you know, I'll get you off the hook of this early. No trivia tonight, so you don't have to stress.
Oh, good.
No
I was
trivia
worried about the
stress.
bottom of the fifth.
No, I was too nervous today. Couldn't come up with a trivia question. The 1-2. That is popped up in the infield. Jeff has no idea where it is. And didn't move. So again, we're obviously, it's been a month since we've played. It is 8:09 local time. It is dark. The lights are on. This is where we probably would have still had some sunlight. And Jeff had no idea where that was right off the bat, unable to pick it up. And it will remain 1-2. So Clark with a second life here to start the ball game.
As a catcher there, you just feel sick to your stomach because everybody's pointing straight up. They say it's right above you, and you just can't get an eye on it.
Everybody's yelling.
Yeah.
Everybody's yelling.
Yep.
You could hear we could hear yelling from down the first base side, yelling from the third base side, yelling from the crowd. And the thing is, if you can't see the ball, you can't see the ball, right? And we're going to get times called here. So the count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. To the leadoff hitter here. The top of the first inning. Holy jumpins. And that is shot into right field. Goss on the way in. And he will make a little basket play and flip it back into the infield. So Clark is retired to start the ball game, and it's 1 down. That'll bring up Connor Hill. Hill hit .322 in the regular season. Was 28 for 87. 22 runs scored. He had 6 extra base hits, among them 3 home runs. And thank you so much for joining us wherever you're watching from, all across the country here in Canada, all around the world at this point. And that's a curveball from Hernandez in there for strike 1. We thank you guys for tuning in to playoff baseball, finally. Playoff baseball. 1-0 or 0-1 from Hernandez, and that is inside. I think it got him. And that caught the home plate umpire, I think, in the hand. Now, Dig, did that maybe hit the elbow pad of Connor Hill?
I think
It sure as heck looked like it did.
It sounded like there was 2 ticks there, and I want to say Connor Hill, it hit him, then the umpire in the arm.
Just from the angle that I have, it definitely looked like it changed directions.
Yeah.
But again, right, part of the reason why you wear that elbow pad and have it obviously positioned in a certain way is to so that it doesn't hurt. You don't catch it square. I'm just saying, from where I was sitting, it looked like it might have caught him. Either way, it's ball 1.
He's not arguing, so I don't know. I'll trust Connor Hill here, and the honest man he is saying, no, that one didn't get me.
That's there to play. Bryce, I will say, 2 teams wearing dark colored jerseys just makes me angry. It's why the Ironmen are not wearing red. I have absolutely no idea. It drives me nuts. And I know on the stream it's hard to distinguish between the navy and the black. The 1-2, and that is a grounder to short. Heating up with it. He's going to have to be quick, and he will be. That'll be 6-3 for out number 2. So 2 quick outs here for Hernandez. But yes, I know on the stream, here where I'm sitting, obviously it's easy to tell the difference between the navy blue and the black. I know on the stream it is not as easy, especially if you're watching on a mobile device. I mean, I'm looking at it on a 24, 27-inch computer monitor. I know if you're watching on your phone, it is hard to tell. But the Ironmen are wearing their black jerseys. The Alpines wearing their traditional navy. So Matt Beach is going to step in here. And again, Hernandez with a long look in. Beach hit .387 with 4 homers in the regular season. Again, all-star center fielder in the New Brunswick Senior Baseball League this past year. Member of the New Brunswick Junior Baseball League champion Saint John Alpines. That is down and in for ball 1.
And of course, Beach, a very good center fielder, and obviously an all-star, but There's a little bit of controversy with that one, I think.
Is there? And we're gonna check down to first, and it's gonna be no. Listen, we're no strangers to spreading controversy here on the stream.
No, I just
are you saying due to the affiliate status, perhaps?
Yeah, just where he's not a full-time player, I would say that a pretty deserving guy in center field right now for the Ironmen.
Yes, I don't disagree. There's a swing and a miss.
I believe he led in 8 of 9 offensive categories.
Sure did. Hey, there's a reason we don't get to vote. But I can tell you who my vote would have been for. And that's not a slight on Beach.
Very good player. Very good player.
He is going to have a very long, productive career for this team. That is a fastball right there for strike 2. So Julio has battled back here to even the count at 2-2. And I tell you what, Beach enjoys hitting here at Ironman Field. We have seen him hit some long home runs here over the last couple of years. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the first. Hernandez has the side he wants, is ready to throw one to Beach. And that is a cross swing and a miss. Strike 3. The Alpines go in order in the top of the first on a fly out, a ground out, and a strikeout. But after a half inning, there's no score, and we will have the Ironmen coming to bat in the bottom of the first on this playoff edition of O'Donaghues Ironmen Baseball Live. So we go to the bottom of the first inning. Here's a look at the lineup for the Ironmen. It's going to be Mike McKay, Keating, Leggett, Watkin, the top 4. Jake Cook, Charlie Mollison, Tyler McKay, DHing tonight in the 7 hole for the Ironmen. Logan Walsh and Zach Goss. And again, they will be taking on the big lefty, part of the national champion Charlottetown Islanders a few weeks ago out in Regina, Saskatchewan. Hayden Dow, again, led the New Brunswick Senior Baseball League in strikeouts and earned run average. 4-4 in the regular season with a 1.73. Again, he did have a few outings where he pitched very well and just did not get run support. Again, hard to pin 4 losses on a guy with a 1.73 ERA, but it is what it is. 48 and 2/3 innings. He's allowed 43 hits, 17 runs. And we'll have to take on this Ironman lineup. 3 batters with in excess of a 380 average. 312 as a team, by far and away the leading team in the regular season. And Mike McKay is going to step in here to lead it off in the bottom of the first. Hit 385 in the regular season, 35 run score, which led the league, 35 hits, which led the league, 9 doubles, which I believe also led the league. And that is on the outside part of the plate for strike 1. Again, you see corners in here on the infield and a very big space between second and short up the middle. That's on the outside part of the plate for strike 2. So Dow quickly goes sinking fastballs on the outside part of the plate. That's in the dirt. We saw Dow here at Ironman Field earlier in the summer in a game that the Alpines won 3-2 that the Ironmen very much had a chance to win. That was one of the, and that is hit towards first and a big hop for Galbraith. So that'll be 3 unassisted for out number 1. That doubleheader, Oh, Hawkins at first. My bad. Thank you, Jake. Just,
no problem.
Don't have to point to the scorebook. Just speak up. Tell people that I freaked up. Hey, don't be sure.
We want to keep the mistakes in.
I don't even remember what I was talking about now. Rattled. Here comes Keating. 420 with 4 homers in the regular season. That is a slider on the outside part for a strike.
And Dow so far tonight has the command. Has painted 4 straight here, aside from the one in the dirt to Mike.
That's right. And that's on the outside part of the plate for strike 2. I remember what I was going to say. That doubleheader early in the summer where the Ironmen had a chance to win both games, lost 3-2 and 4-3. After that was when they went on a 9-game run.
Yeah, they turned it around after that doubleheader here. I do remember.
Yep. The 0-2 to Keating, and that is in the dirt. So same formula here as with, and hopefully that's the last time we see the home plate umpire throw a baseball tonight. So same formula as with McKay. Gets ahead 2 strikes, 1 in the dirt, and we'll see. This would be a good situation to throw that running fastball in under Keating's hands here. Try to get him to roll over on something towards second base. Setting up away. That is in the dirt, so that runs it to 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes here, 1 out in the bottom of the first, no score. Again, folks, thank you for tuning in wherever you're watching from tonight. We greatly appreciate it. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube or Twitch, that is down and in. There's that 2-seamer I was looking for, but Dow now has missed down 3 pitches in a row. First inning, we've already set a viewership high for the year, Dig, so we can probably just go home.
Yeah, no, that's it for us
Let the
tonight.
game call itself here. Here comes the full count pitch. And that is bounded foul. We'll see now. So I did not get much of an injury report, but again, Keating had that foot injury, ankle injury towards the end of the regular season. Obviously, hasn't played a whole lot since. It's been about a month. And you did see him swinging there. I don't know if he fouled it off his foot or just favoring it. You could see him wince just a little bit. Keep an eye on that. And that's in the dirt, ball 4. So a great at bat there from Chris Keating. And the first runner of the ball game is on in the form of Chris Keating. And let me tell you, there is a very good chance he will not be at first for very long. And one thing I don't need confirmation that they are going to try to take advantage of Mark Legier behind the plate as they did all regular season.
Absolutely. And it's no surprise to anybody. Saint John knows that, Mark doesn't throw the ball extremely well, and Chatham is a team with a lot of speed. So you got to try to take your chances where you can.
That's down for ball 1. Keats 12 for 12 in the regular season in stolen bases. Again, we've talked about it all summer, right? Obviously, no shortage of speed on this team as Nick Leggett steps in. Throw over to first.
I was just about to say that's one thing you can't do right now if you're Chris.
And again, right, that is obviously, Saint John knows, listen, Legier's not the best throwing catcher in the league, obviously in the lineup for his bat. But again, with the lefty out there sort of neutralizing the run game a little bit, you're playing chess at this point, right? This is the playoffs. And that is fouled at a play by Leggett. Leggett, 381 in the regular season with a home run, 7 doubles. He had 14 runs scored and 32 hits. And again, earlier tonight was honored with the All-Star First Base Award for the season. That's here with 1 out and 1 on the bottom of the first inning. No score here. 1-1 is the count. Keating with a reasonable lead over there at first. And Dow to the plate, and that is down and away for ball 2. See Dow kind of mad at himself a little bit here. And again, this has all of the makings of a very tight series. Again, these guys played very tight games in the regular season. Again, those couple times, that couple doubleheaders we saw them here, very close games. That is fouled away there, and that'll run it to 2-2. You can see Dow staying away from Nick here, not looking to get in under the hands. Might see if he tries to get him on a slider here. Again, he's thrown 4 sinking fastballs away. 2 have missed, and Nick has fouled 2 of them off. Keating with another little step over there. Not going. And that is hit hard into center, and that is going to get down in front of Beach, and then Beach tried to pick it up, and the ball got away from him. So that will allow Keating to move up to third. So that's going to be a single. An error. So a single for Nick Leggett and an error by Matt Beach, which will allow Keating to take third. So it will be runners at the corners here with 1 out and Jeff Watkin coming to the plate.
That ball took a wicked hop on Beach in center field, and Keating able to scamper with the good speed to third base, and now a great chance, a fly ball from Jeff Watkin, and you're up 1-0.
Well, and I hate to say something we haven't considered all year, right? It's getting cool. We're forecasting single digits here later on this evening. You're going to start getting that dewy spots in the outfield. And again, right, you're going to see, I was thinking on that, right, the ball could skip, it could spin.
Yeah, absolutely.
We are going to see some, especially as we get later into the evening and gets a little cooler and that possibility of moisture in the field fires up. You could see some weird things happen in the outfield, and that one kind of took a weird hop back, and Beach unable to corral it. And that is muscled into left, and that is going to get down. A broken bat single into left field from Jeff Watkin, and the Ironmen are on the board first. It's 1-0. So Watkin fights that one off into left field. That bat's going to die a hero, I believe. And just like that, again, right, first and third, put the ball in play, pick up the run. Ends up in a base hit, and now Jake Cook's going to step in here with runners at first and second, and still only one out. Jake had an even 300 in the regular season, 15 runs scored. He had 21 hits and a homer. That homer was in Saint John. That one is down for ball one.
Good at bat by Jeff there, not trying to do too much. Saw one over and then promptly deposits one for his RBI.
Yep. That is a hard hit ball from Cook there. We'll foul it down the third baseline, even the count at 1-1.
Thinker got in his kitchen there and just beat him a little bit.
Well, I tell you what, a long layoff, but the Ironmen so far here have shown exactly what they did in the latter half of the regular season, which is they just have good at bats.
Yep. You string a couple good at bats together and good things happen.
That is hit hard, but fouled in the left field line. Again, right, Mike has a pretty good at bat, results in a ground out. Keating works a 7-pitch full count walk. Nick, battles hard, 5-pitch at bat, gets a really good piece back up the middle. Walking only 2 pitches, but you know what? Put the ball in play, does a job, and that is hit hard to third, and that'll be caught by Butcher over there for out number 2. So a hard line drive from Cook, but unfortunately right at the third baseman. And so that'll be 2 out now, and we'll turn it to the second baseman, Charlie Mawson. Mawson in the regular season at .295, had a home run and a double amongst his 23 hits, 17 runs scored as well. Great season at the plate for Charlie. And that's curveball in there for strike one. And again, the other thing, Dig, that we saw all through the regular season, Ironman making Dow work here right from the rip.
That's it. And a long series, 7 games, obviously, if it goes that far.
That's down the line to first.
We'll finish that thought next inning.
But the Ironmen get one here in the bottom of the first inning. So after one complete here at Ironman Field, it is your Chatham Miramichi Ironman 1. The Alpines, no score. Ironman Baseball Live is brought to you by O'Donaghues Irish Pub. Our beautiful back patio is open and dogs are welcome. We even have a special O'Don's Irish Pup menu for your furry friend. Head on over to our website, O'Donaghues.com, to check out our full menu and upcoming event schedule. O'Donaghues, welcome to your pub. So we go to the top of the second here. Quick update from Royals Field in Fredericton. Again, game 2 between the Islanders and Royals going on down there tonight. No score after 1. Here, the Ironmen scored 1 in the bottom of the first and have taken a 1-0 lead. as Hernandez goes back out here after a 1-2-3 first. And we'll face the 4, 5, 6 hitters. Bon Jovi's Bad Medicine rumbles through a packed Ironman field here. Mark Legier is going to step in, 288 in the regular season, 3 home runs, 5 doubles amongst his 21 hits, 15 runs scored as well. That is on the inside part of the plate for strike one. I don't think Legier like that, but
No, Legier pretty close to the plate though, so you got to understand that one under your elbows is going to catch the corner every now and again.
And I tell you what, obviously small sample size here, but we have seen from downs here, especially in the bottom of the first inning, given a little bit on those corners.
Yep, for sure.
So we'll see if Julio tries to push it here as Legier swings through a curveball there, and it's quickly 0-2. That is high and tight.
Just to stand him up a little bit there. He's diving out over the plate quite a bit. That's right. A guy who, a lot of that power comes from pulling the ball and getting out in front. So Julio trying to stand him up straight a little bit.
Yep. Go back, slider away in the dirt here. There's a swing and a miss. Looked like a changeup. That is a punche for Hernandez. Second strikeout of the ball game, and 1 out here in the top of the second. And I'll tell you what, again, early. But Hernandez has the good stuff cooking here through 4 batters, Dig.
And you know what? Of the 4, I think he's thrown a first pitch strike to all 4 of them.
Yep. I don't disagree. And I think he's probably only thrown 12 or 13 pitches here to this point. And that is a grounder to short. Walsh has to wait for it to get to him, but will make the play. So Ryan Scott grounds out on 1 pitch. Didn't even get time to tell people that he hit 476 in the regular season with 3 homers, but
good player.
He's 0 for 1 here. And quickly 2 outs here in the top of the second. Ryan Galbraith step in here, junior affiliate, at 258 in the regular season. He's DHing tonight. 8 for 31 on the senior circuit. Couple of doubles.
And another player from Saint John that possesses quite a bit of power if you throw her on the inner half of the plate here.
Absolutely. There's a big swing and a miss as he was sitting dead red heater there, and Hernandez goes to the off speed. Gets him strike 1. Again, like to thank everybody for watching. Up over 200 viewers across all platforms here tonight. Thank you so much for supporting O'Donaghues Ironmen Baseball Live. There's a swing and a miss, strike 2, as he backs up the fastball, or backs up the curveball with a changeup there. So a couple off-speed pitches, and Hernandez 1 strike away here from a 7-pitch inning, 8-pitch inning. And that is looped into right field. That is going to be foul down the right field line. Galbraith stuck the bat out and tried to drive something into right field with 2 strikes. So still 0-2 here. Again, Hernandez has looked strong here through 5 batters. Looking to face the minimum here through 2 innings. The 0-2. There's a swing and a miss. Strike 3. The third punche so far for Hernandez. 1.5 innings in the books. It is your Chatham Miramichi Honda Ironman 1, the Saint John Alpines. No score.
This is minimum.
We go to the bottom of the second. Ironman lead 1-0 here, and it's going to be Tyler McKay to lead it off, followed by Logan Walsh. and Zach Goss, bottom third of the order here for the Ironmen. And McKay, DH tonight, hit .302 in the regular season, 16 for 53, had a couple doubles, 9 runs scored. Couldn't ask for a better start if you're the Ironmen. Hernandez faces 6, 3 strikeouts on probably maybe 18, 19, 20 pitches. The Ironman made Dow work to the tune of almost 30 here in the first, and that is on the outside part of the plate for strike 1. Again, that's where Dow lived early on. That is just below the zone for a ball. So 1 ball, 1 strike here. That is in the dirt, and that one comes up. Man, home plate umpire Andrew Downs having a rough go of it here as he took one in the hand. It looked like back in the first inning. And there he took a spinner, came up and caught him in the mask. So a bit of a rough start here for the home plate umpire, but he's back in. The count's 2-1. Again, the Ironmen looking to keep it going here and making Hayden Dow work. That is hit hard towards second, but Adam Clark will climb the ladder and come down with that one. Put a star next to that one if you're scoring at home. Adam Clark gets the hops and makes the play. So McKay out on a line drive. And I'll tell you what, Dig, you look at even the outs the Ironmen have made so far.
Hard contact.
Jake Cook with a hard line drive. That was a hard line drive there. Obviously, Charlie with a hard ground ball. Again, the biggest thing that the Ironmen did in the second half of the regular season that they didn't do in the first half is they, as an opposing pitcher, they made you earn it.
Yeah. No, it's quality at bats, and it's
that's a foul ball back.
It's none of these, first pitch or second pitch. You tap one back to the pitcher and you kind of shut it down, and it's an easy out. It's been a battle 1 through 9, and that's so tough on the starting pitcher when there's no easy ones in the lineup.
That's right. I mean, you look at their regular season, right? 140 or 112 walks in the regular season. I mean, that's, that is a lot of free runners. They are not afraid to go out there and working at bat. The 2-1. And that is hit hard into left center field, and there is nobody there. That is going to skip all the way to the wall. Walsh is around first on his way to second, and that will be a 1-out double for Logan Walsh. And again, another hard hit ball here from the Ironmen. That one into left center field gap. And an easy stand-up double for Logan Walsh.
And that's a guy right there, Chris, that if he gets going here in the playoffs for the Ironmen, that lineup gets so much longer.
Yep, absolutely.
And when they were going well, it was 7, 8, 9 getting on, and Mike, Chris, and Nick were driving them in. So great start here to the second inning.
That's going to bring up the number 9 hitter, Zach Goss. 273 in the regular season, a couple of home runs. Bats here with 1 out and 1 on. Bottom of the second. There's a mighty hack at a slider from Dow there. Goss doesn't get cheated up there. That is for sure. The 1-strike pitch now from Dow. Look out to second. And he squares around to bunt, and that's going to get away, and then there's nobody at third. So Walsh will advance to third uncontested. Going to check down to see. So Goss had squared to bunt there, pulled back. Legier able to block it, but again, because Blucher had moved into charge, nobody at third. I don't think they would have had a chance to throw him out anyway. So now the infield for the Alpines in here. There's a foul tip into the glove for strike 2.
Heads up base running there by Walsh. Pick up the free 90 feet after the ball squirts away from Legier, and now the job becomes really easy for Goose. Just a ball into the outfield here.
Yep. 1-2. That is down for a ball. Goss tracking that one in all the way. So 2 balls, 2 strikes here. And again, top of the order looming. So Dow trying to limit the damage here before McKay and Keating make their second trip through. The 2-2. There's a swing and a miss, strike 3. And Legier will have to watch. And he makes a great play as he chases after Goss, looks Walsh back and throws him out. So that is a K2-3 for the second out of the inning. We'll go back to the top of the order here for Mike McKay. McKay 0 for 1. Grounded out to first to start the ball game. 2 outs. Runner at third here for the Ironmen. That is down for a ball, and that's going to get away, and Walsh will score. And I was just going to say, these are the situations you got to pick up a run. And I'm not sure if that's going to hard to tell if that's a wild pitch or a pass ball. But either way, it's a run for the Ironmen, and it's 2-0.
I think Legier would tell you that's a ball he needs to corral right there. That's an unfortunate
just
one.
Based, again, hard to tell because obviously we're right behind home plate here. We're at a different angle than the camera is. That is fouled back. We're directly behind, so I couldn't tell if that ball hit the dirt first. It sounded like from up here, like it hit glove first.
Yeah,
so
that's what I got to.
Maybe Legier just didn't get the glove all the way down or whatever. But either way, it's a ball that squirts away and the run scores, and it's 2-0 Ironman here. That is a big second run. Mike squares around to bunt, and we'll take a ball outside and runs it to 2-1. That's in the dirt now, 3-1. Again, this is the part of the order, if you're Hayden Dow, where you cannot afford free passes.
No, it's not 90 feet. It's 180 with Mike because he's getting to second base.
Mm.
And then a single puts you down 3-0 here real early in this baseball game.
Yeah. The 3-1. There's his swing and a miss at a slider. Healthy hack there from Mike. That'll be a full count here. Here it comes. There's a swing and a miss, strike 3. So Dow gets the strikeout, but the damage is done as the Ironmen push across one. A Logan Walsh double. He moves up to third on a wild pitch and scores on a pass ball. And after 2 complete, it is your Chatham Miramichi Honda Ironman 2, the Saint John Alpines, no score. Ironman Baseball Live is brought to you by O'Donaghues Irish Pub. Did you know we have happy hours 7 days a week from 3 to 6 p.m.? Come on by for a drink and a snack. We also have wing night every Thursday from 5 to 10 p.m. Head on over to our website, O'Donaghues.com, to check out our full menu and upcoming event schedule. O'Donaghues, welcome to your pub. Just an update from the other game tonight. Top of the third at Royals Field. It is no score between the Islanders and the Fredericton Royals. Again, that series 1-0 Islanders as the Royals look to even it up before heading back to the Island for Game 3. Here, the Ironmen with a 2-0 lead after 2 in Game 1. We're 1 in each of the innings. First, something out of my eyeball. Jeff Keating RBI single made it 1-0, and then Logan Walsh scores on a, well, we're going to call it a pass ball day in the bottom of the second. Julio Hernandez back to work here, so he will face 7-8-9, starting with Enos Hayden. Hit .311 with 3 homers in 45 at-bats in the regular season after joining the Alpines. That ball is down and away for ball 1. Again, Hayden, a late joining member of the Alpines as their import. Did it for them a little bit on both sides, but again, an over 300 hitter, 3 homers in limited action. That is a fastball on the inside part of the plate for a strike. Hayden, Blutcher, and Huckins here for the Alpines. Again, still looking for their first base runner. That is high and tight for a ball. And I might be mistaken here, Dig. I think this is the first 2-ball count for the Alpines tonight.
Yeah, that probably checks out. I don't, you know.
Beach was up 2-0. Beach was up 2-0.
Okay. So 1 for 6.
Corrected myself. That is a hard hit ball into left, and Cook will back up on it, and that will fall in for a hard hit base hit. So just like that, first base runner for the Alpines as Enos Hayden reaches. So that'll be Chase Blucher up here. Again, a junior standout for the league champion Saint John Junior Alpines. Hit .409 with a home run and 16 RBIs in the regular season for the Junior Alpines. What a time to make an impact here for the senior club. And a throw over to first. Have a look here. And
Julio just making sure that Hayden stays close there to give Jeff a chance if he does take off.
Absolutely.
Maybe a slide step here in the first one. Quite a big lead there.
And even though he joined the team late, Hayden 8 for 8 in stolen bases.
Yeah, so
obviously they know he's looking to possibly go here, and especially down 2 early in the ball game here. Obviously he's out to the edge of the cutout there, not going, and that is inside for ball 1. Maybe a little, hey, how you doing here to the young fella. Some sound advice from down the third baseline there, asking Julio to just get an out here. Probably a good idea. The 1-0. Long pause, and that's in the dirt. Quickly 2-0 here. So Julio has fallen behind both batters here in the third inning, 2-0.
If you're Julio here, it's a deep breath, a reset, and you got to realize the most dangerous man is the guy at the plate with the stick, right? You got to get after the batter. Can't fall behind here and then run yourself into
ball in play, a little 6-4-3 double play in order. That's right down. Well, that's down for a ball, 3-0. And hard to tell up and down from up here. Looked like a pretty good pitch, but you guys with just a little slight angled view at home, probably a little better view than we have. So it's 3-0. That's inside for ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk to the number 8 hitter. That'll bring up the number 9 hitter. Jerry Green announces him as the third baseman, and when in fact, he is the first baseman. Tonight. We all make that mistake, though.
Yeah, just once.
3 first. Huckins struggled in the regular season, a 152 average, only 7 for 46. Does have a double and a home run amongst those 7 hits. I have to imagine he's laying one down here.
Oh, for the top of the order, absolutely. This ball is...
No sign of squaring there. And again, Julio has thrown 5 straight balls here to the part of the order where
you don't want to be doing that.
You don't want to be throwing balls to this part of the order.
No, especially with Clark Hill and Beach looming kind of in that dugout. Yeah.
No different than on the other side, right? We talked last inning about, the McKays and the Walshes and the Gosses setting the table. Obviously same thing here, right? You have very dangerous trio of guys with Clark and Hill and Beach coming up here. There's a swing and a miss strike too. At the very least, you want to get out of this situation first and second with an out. Maybe hoping to get Huckins to roll over on something here.
Just
Leggett and Walsh back up here with 2 strikes.
A weird call there by the St. John coach not to bunt. Obviously confident in his 9-hitter Connor Huckins.
I mean, here's the thing. All things being equal, you get a guy that hit 152 in the regular season. I'm giving him the bunt sign.
Yeah, no, it's the...
Let him have a team at bat, get the ball down.
You have Clark and Hill with 2 outs to drive in those 2 guys and tie this game.
And again, that's why we're not New Brunswick Senior Baseball League coaches, Dig. That is a pretty good pitch that is called inside, and just like that, it's a full count.
The Ironman here, counting outs.
Fastball down the middle. That is hit to left to Jake Cook, and he will make the play. So the Ironmen do get the out with a fly ball to left. So that'll be out number 1, and that will turn it over to the top of the order. Again, I question not bunting.
Yeah.
Situationally, right? You're down 2. You move the guys up to second and third potentially with 1 out. Now you're in a situation where a ground ball ends the inning, potentially, versus the ground ball making it 2-1.
Well, that's just it. And the other thing that the bunt does, it eliminates that double play ball.
Absolutely.
Right? So even
and obviously Clark, tough guy to double up, but still.
Yep. No, absolutely.
Hard ground ball, somebody we're turning a 4-6-3 here. We'll see if it pays off or not. That's a curveball in there for strike one. Clark 0 for 1 flew out to right field to start the ball game. Again, maybe we're just old heads digging. We that small ball is something we want to see it happen, but Well,
the two teams.
We'll see. Somebody's going to be right and wrong here in 3 or 4 minutes.
No, yeah, exactly, and that's just it. But
the 0-1, that is fouled off at the plate, and it's 0-2. So it's 0-2 here. That is just down and away. Good 0-2 pitch from Julio there. Tries to get Clark to chase. Clark not biting. Here comes the 1-2, and that is hit out of play down the right side.
Julio seems to have settled in here. Obviously, the last two much more competitive pitches being thrown.
Here comes another 1-2. And that is right there for strike 3 called. The 4th strikeout for Hernandez and the 2nd out of the inning, and the Alpines still have runners at 1st and 2nd. That'll bring up Connor Hill. Hill grounded out to short his first time. So Hernandez, after allowing the first 2 men in the inning to reach here on a single and a walk, has battled back to get a flyout and a strikeout. And that is his curveball in there for strike 1. Again, doesn't get any easier here at the top of the order. Hill a dangerous hitter, and Matt Beach behind him a dangerous hitter. Possibility of getting out of it in play here for Hernandez. Quick look out to second. That is hit hard down the third baseline, but foul as that one got in under the hands. Hill fouls it off. Now it's 0-2, and Hernandez 1 pitch away from getting out of it here. Hernandez pitching here for the Ironmen. The Ironmen scored a run in each of the first 2 innings. And that is popped up and out of play. Jeff Watkin with an RBI single in the first inning. Drove in Chris Keating. And Logan Walsh, after a double, picked up 3rd on a wild pitch and scored on a pass ball. Those are the 2 runs. The Alpines threatening here. First 2 men on here in the 3rd, but a pop out, or fly out, and a strikeout. Runners going, and that is away for a ball. Hayden will pick up 3rd uncontested. Hayden taken off there on a 0-2 pitch.
Not much changes for Julio here. Just, Jeff is very good defensive catcher, obviously blocking the ball, so real.
Oh, that's right. And we're going to get a little time call here. So another 1-2 on the way here. 2 outs in the top of the 3rd. That is outside for a ball as Julio tries to get Hill to extend. Now, is he setting up the changeup down, or is he setting up the fastball inside?
After the last 2 are away there, if I'm him, I go right after him with the fastball in the inner half here. Maybe you can tie him up a little bit.
And that is hit hard and high and deep to left, back towards the wall, and it's going to one-hop the wall. So that will score 1 and 1 only as Hayden scores from 3rd. So a RBI double from Connor Hill. And just like that, the lead is cut in half. It's 2-1. Well, there you go. That ends the controversy of the no bunt, I would say. Although, I mean, if you do bunt, that's a 2-run double,
That's
not
a tie
one-run
game right
double.
there.
But, you know. But, hey, we're not going to sit here and say whether we're right or wrong. And that is going to get a visit here from the Ironman dugout. I think the situation is here, what do you want to do with Matt Beach? You want to put him on? And would you rather take your chances with Legier with the bases loaded, or would you rather take your chances with Beach here?
I think Legier is a hitter that you can get to expand the zone, and Beach is swinging it. It's a lot of respect to give a junior kid to walk him here in the third inning.
And again, Julio struck out Beach in the first.
Yeah.
So obviously,
confident that your guy can get their guy.
Confident that you have a good game plan against. So we'll see. So we're back in here. Top of the third inning, the Alpines have scored. It's 2-1. They have runners at second and third, and Matt Beach at the dish. A pivotal at bat in the ball game right here. That is fouled. Again, that was Watkin was set up away there, and it looked like Hernandez kind of backed up that slider on the inner half. Not a great spot to miss, but he gets away with it. Now that probably sets up burying one low and away here. And that is hit hard towards second. And heck of a play by Charlie Molson.
Holy!
At least one run, probably two. Put a star next to that one if you're scoring at home. A heck of a play by Charlie Molson ends the threat. And after 2.5 here from Ironman Field, it is your Chatham Miramichi Ironman 2, Saint John Alpines 1. So we go to the bottom of the third inning here. Holy moly, Dig. Listen, again, I always you hear me say all summer long about putting a star next to plays that could have a major impact. You know what? That is a play right there by Charlie Molson that we could be sitting here an hour from now, and it being something that changed the course of this ballgame.
Oh, it saved one, possibly two right there.
Yeah.
And do or die, you know what I mean? Extension, there's not much to say about that one other than holy cow.
And I'll tell you what, it might seem like it was a month ago, but the last game here, Charlie had a bit of a rough one. A couple mistakes in the field, made a costly error that kind of turned the tide in that baseball game. And you know what? You're sitting and you're thinking about that. You're thinking about it. But what a heck of a play there. So it stays 2-1. And now it's Keating here to lead off the third for the Ironman. And that's in the dirt for ball one. So, again, that would have been at the very least 2-2, most likely with the way the grass is here and Hill running at second, probably 3-2 Alpines. But instead, an absolutely phenomenal 4-3 put out by Charlie Molson. And now it's going to be Keating, Leggett, and Watkin here. Heart of the order for the Ironman. That is a bounder back up the middle. That is going to be a tough play. It takes a big hop. And Clark able to stay with it and make the play. Again, Keats runs well down the line. But Clark able to stay with it on the big hop. Make the play. So that'll bring up Leggett. Leggett with a big hit back here in the first. That is fouled off at the plate, and that one catches a good chunk of Legier, I think. And a tight ball game here as we're bottom of the third. It's Ironman 2, Alpines 1. Ironman scored in each of the first 2 innings. The Alpines got one back in the top of the third. That is right at the bottom of the zone for strike 2. Leggett disagrees. That is in the dirt. Look out. Tell you what, Dow has absolutely no fear in spiking a pitch here.
No, doesn't mind throwing one, just in front of his catcher.
Half a dozen or more, probably closer to 8 pitches that have been in the dirt. And that is hit hard towards third. Blucher up with it, and a strong throw across the diamond, and a nice 5-3 there for out number 2. Again, that one took a bit of a funky hop, so a couple of nice plays. In the field. And quickly 2 out here as the Alpines try to turn that run into some momentum in the field. That is a called strike as check swing from Watkin there, appealed down to Craig Hope. And I'm not sure if you could hear that at home, but
he was sure.
Hope very adamant that Jeff went around there.
Yeah,
Watkin drove in the first run of the game back in the first, and that's down and away for a ball. It's a little broken bat looper behind short. Allowed Chris Keating to score. First run of the ball game for the Ironmen. Jeff steps back in here. There's a mighty hack from Watkin there on a fastball on the outer half.
And that fastball's got quite a bit of arm side run today, Chris.
Yeah, it is. It is. I've noticed that right from the jump here. Dow living on that outside part to righties there with some good run. See if he goes back out there 1-2. No, he goes down and in. And that one catches the umpire again. I'm not a fan. I'm not sure if it was Legier, the home plate umpire, who tossed out a little bit of an expletive there, but
that's 3 good ones tonight so far.
Yeah, I tell you what, home plate umpire Andrew Downs he's going through it back there.
There's going to be a couple bruises on that that left arm.
If anybody's downstairs listening, we're going to need some ice brought up to the umpire's room here about the middle of the 7th. Here comes the 2-2. There's a swing and a miss, strike 3. So Dow goes 3 up, 3 down after they score the run. 3 complete innings here in the books from Ironman Field. It is your Chatham Miramichi Ironman 2. The Saint John Alpines 1 here on O'Donaghues Ironmen Baseball Live. Ironman Baseball Live is brought to you by O'Donaghues Irish Pub. Come by and try one of our new menu favorites, the tot of the morning to you. Mayo, lettuce, tomato, egg, bacon, cheese, and 2 tater tot rings, all on a brioche bun served with home fries. How can you pass that up? We have brunch every Saturday and Sunday from 9 a.m. until noon. O'Donaghues, welcome to your pub. So we go to the top of the 4th here. Been an interesting 3 innings so far. The Ironmen lead 2-1. Again, the Ironmen scored 1 in the bottom of the first, 1 in the bottom of the second. The Alpines struck back with 1 in the top of the 3rd. Ended by a fantastic play by Charlie Maulson in that inning. Mark Legier is going to lead it off here for the Alpines as the 4-5-6 come to bat. Hernandez looking to get back in the groove that he had in the first 2 innings. That's a curveball in there for strike 1. And a fantastic postseason baseball here at Ironman Field. Thank you all for joining us. That's a ball, 1-1. I want to thank everybody for tuning in across all platforms here tonight. That is Inside for a Ball. You're watching on Facebook or YouTube or Twitch. Thank you so much for tuning in. 2 balls, 1 strike here to Legier. There's a swing and a miss, strike 2. Julio with 4 strikeouts, I believe, thus far.
You got it. 4 so far. Clark, Beach, Legier, and Galbraith.
There you go. So the 2-2 as he looks to get Legier here again. We're going to get a time called. Update from Fredericton through 3 innings down there at Royals Field. It is the Islanders 2, the Royals no score. Royals look to even that series at 1. The 2-2. That is hit hard towards third, and that's going to be over a leaping Logan Walsh. Book will get to it. Legier with a big turnaround first, and that's it. So a hard hit ball for a base hit, and the Alpines have a runner on here to start the inning. The Alpines looking to carry that momentum forward. And that'll bring up Ryan Scott. Didn't get a whole lot of time to talk about him as grounded out on 1 pitch. He hit .476 in 42 at-bats in the regular season. Had 20 hits, 5 doubles, and 3 home runs. And that ball is just down for ball 1. That's curveball in there for a strike. And again, I'll tell you what, as we get later into this ball game and a close game here, obviously one of the things to watch for both teams is how they deploy their relievers. That is looped into right field. That is going to be a base hit. So a little floater into right, and the Alpines have the first 2 runners on. And obviously, you know, for the Ironmen, the expectation would be that Zach Goss, probably the first guy out of the bullpen. A deep bench here, even though it's a road game, obviously playoffs. So a deep bench for the Alpines. Lots of options over there for them to go through. Again, getting ahead of ourselves as it's only the 4th, but again, it matters. You know, long series, potentially 7 games. There's a square around, and that is high and tight. As Galbraith looking to get one down.
They might be listening to the stream.
They might,
Chris
well,
over in the dugout.
Hey, listen, I'll tell you what. Again, just saying, if they got the bunt down last inning, it's a 2-2 ball game.
Well, I think right now Galbraith has that, and he knows he needs to get it down here.
Squares around and fouls it off, and again, that's just
doesn't look super comfortable.
Not great bunting technique. You can see he kind of stabbed at it, and he kind of jumped out of the way because that was a slider from Hernandez.
Probably not a guy that gets the bunt sign very often in Galbraith.
As we teach the 12 and 13-year-old kids, get the bat out there and just like you're catching a lacrosse pass, right? Just let the bat just catch it. Don't be stabbing.
Yeah.
Right? Again, stabbing isn't a situation where you're going to hit it too far and run the risk of one of those first guys picked up, and I think he did. I was going to say I think he absolutely went at that. He pulled it back way too late. And that was called by the home plate umpires. Now it's 1-2. And again, Galbraith tried to trick everybody there, but you can't reach for it and then pull back. Yeah.
No. The pullback has to be first if you're going to try to sell it. But
the 1-2, and that is fouled off at the plate. So now the bunt is off, and obviously situation here for the Ironmen where you'd like to get a double play.
And where all those pitches were kind of out on the outer half there, and he's got him leaning, I would maybe try the fastball up above the hands here, so you can get him to swing through it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's right there for strike 3. Slider at the bottom of the zone. Strikeout number 5 for Hernandez, and the first out here at the top of the 4th inning. Again, doesn't get any easier here. Hayden going to come up. Hayden with a loud single his first time. and to this point has scored the only Alpines run of the ball game as he came around on Connor Hill's double. 1 out and 2 on here. And that is hit high and deep to left, back at the track, at the wall. It is way out of here. And just like that, the Alpines have taken the lead. It is 4-2 as Enos Hayden got every piece of that one up over the screen into the night and into the Willie Jardine field. And a big hit there from Hayden, and it is now 4-2 Alpines.
Yeah, just a really good swing there by Enos Hayden. You know, he caught the curveball out front and promptly deposits it.
Yep. That was the thing, you know, that is a broken bat foul. And again, right, that's one of those situations where obviously Hayden was looking for the off speed.
Yep,
absolutely. And he got it. And we've seen that. I mentioned it earlier, and we've seen that a couple times now in the last few innings where it looked like Hernandez was trying to get that slider curveball away, and it's kind of backed up on him. And that one backed up onto the inner half to Hayden. And, you know, with a guy who is as big and strong as Hayden is, and sitting on that, man, oh man, did he, you know, that was an absolute no-doubter.
Yeah, no, like you said, really good swing. He obviously got the barrel out front, and that changes this game real quick from a 2-1 Ironman lead to you're down 4-2, and now you need to get 2 outs here in the top of the fourth.
Yeah, flipped it right around here. So now the Alpines are up 4-2, and that is down for a ball. So now if you're Hernandez, obviously you need to go through and get Blucher and Huckins here and get back in on the sticks. A lot of outs left. That is a hard hit ball to short, and a great play there by Keating. And a lot of lineouts here tonight so far. We talked about maybe the hitters' timing being off after both of these teams not really playing over the last month. But man, oh man, the exit velocity tonight is high. Maybe the highest we've seen all year.
Yeah, there's just been screamers left and right, both teams.
You know what? Thank you, Ryan. We weren't sure if it was Enos or Ennis. We go with Enos just because that's what the PA says downstairs, and we had assumed that they would correct him. But I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Grounder to second. Paulson up with it. So Hernandez will get a couple outs, but the damage is done. Enos Hayden with a 3-run home run deep into the night. Halfway home here at Ironman Field. It is the Alpines 4 and the Ironman 2. So we go to the bottom of the fourth here. Click the button. Ironman down now 4-2. Lots of outs left, so got to chip away here. But now again, after a couple of shaky innings, Hayden Dow buckled down in the third after his team got him a run. His first 3-up, 3-down inning of the game. Promptly in there was strike one to Jake Cook. That ball's in the dirt. For ball two. Or ball one. Holy jump.
If you're the Ironman here, the worst thing you can do is panic. There's lots of baseball game left. You got to keep making quality.
Number out in front of the plate. Dow comes to get it, and he will make the play. So a nice little 1-3. And you're right, Dick. Again, we've said it time and time again. This is not an unfamiliar spot for the Ironmen to be in.
Nope. Have come from behind.
Down a couple runs in the middle of the ball game. Mm-hmm. And I've had, we've said time and time again, this team plays 18 outs.
Mm-hmm.
And again, obviously things not going their way, from a 2-0 lead to 4-2 trail. Dow starting to get locked in here, but
21 outs.
That's right. 21 outs. That's right. Sorry. So you got to remember, right? I coach 13U all summer, and we only play 6. So I talk about 18 outs with them.
No, I know you got your times tables down. I got you.
That's on the inner half for a strike. I'll tell you what, folks. It's been a month layoff for us as well.
Yeah, no,
I'm not sitting home calling MLB The Show games or something like that to stay in shape. It's it's a long month of not being at the ballpark. There's a swing and a miss by Molson as he kind of come out of his swing a bit there, looking to yank that one down the line. So now it's 1-2.
You're saying you don't add your color commentary when you're watching Buck and Dan call the Jays?
Sure don't. My wife would not appreciate that. The only time I talk during the Blue Jays games is to say that the season's over because something bad has occurred.
Yep.
Or to explain something that's happened because maybe she wasn't looking at the screen. Or to yell about some substitution that was made. Like, why is Jeff Hoffman in this game right now, in this situation?
That's a great question.
Just at any point,
yeah,
right?
That's a great question.
That's the extent of my commentary on Blue Jays baseball. Plenty of commentary left to go here, though. 2-2 count here to Molson with 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. There's a swing and a miss, strike 3, and that gets away. This is going to be a tough play down to first, and he is out at first. Again, that one squeaked through the legs of here, but able to come up with it and make a strong throw down to first. So that is a K2-3 for the second out of the inning. And that'll bring up Tyler McKay. Dow has retired his last 7 in order. That ball is in the dirt. Yet another one. Last Ironman to reach was Logan Walsh. The bottom of the second, who doubled, advanced to third and home on wild pitches and pass balls. That ball is in there for a strike. 1-1. Again, Dow starting to look strong here in the middle innings. That is right there for strike 2. The Alpine side of the ball field fired up here. That's in the dirt. That one squeaks away. So that'll run the count 2-2. And again, the last inning and a half here has absolutely swung the momentum of this ball game all the way across the field. Here comes the 2-2. And that is a broken bat down towards first. And that'll be caught. A nice play over there by Huckins. And that'll be another 3-up, 3-down as Dow has retired the last 8 in a row. And after 4 complete, it is the Saint John Alpines 2 and your Chatham Miramichi or Saint John Alpines 4. Your Chatham Miramichi Ironmen 2 here on O'Donaghues Ironmen Baseball Live. Ironmen Baseball Live is brought to you by O'Donaghues Irish Pub. Our beautiful back patio is open and dogs are welcome. We even have a special O'Don's Irish Pup menu for your furry friend. Head on over to our website, o'donaghues.com, to check out our full menu and upcoming event schedule. O'Donaghues, welcome to your pub. So we go to the top of the fifth here. Update from Fredericton. It remains, after 4 innings, a 2-0 lead for the Islanders as they look to take a 2-0 series lead in that one. Here it is 4-2. The Alpines, 4 runs on 5 hits. The Ironmen, 2 runs on 3 hits. The Alpines have committed an error. Center fielder Matt Beach with an error. First inning. And it's top of the order here for the Alpines in the top of the 5th. As Adam Clark steps in. First pitch is down for ball 1. Here comes. That's a curveball on the inside part. I don't think Clark liked that one very much, but in there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. That is hit towards third, but foul. So again, the Alpines have scored in each of the last 2 innings. Got a run in the third. Could have been more, but a fantastic play by Ironman second baseman Charlie Molson, which again, even now the losing now, I mean, this could be a 5-6-2 ball game.
Yeah, exactly. It's still
that play.
A huge play by Charlie right there.
And then a 3-run home run from Ennis Hayden to make it 4-2. 2-2's the count here to the Alpine second baseman. He's got the one he wants, come set. That is a ball outside. Pretty good pitch there. Just a bit outside. And want to thank everybody for tuning into the stream here tonight. If you're watching on any of our various platforms, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, thanks for tuning in. That is popped way up. Watkin has a beat on it and will make the play. So Watkin able to track that one down. So that is a pop out to the catcher for the first out of the 5th.
Jeff redeems himself after the first one. Was able to keep that one in the vision. Probably quite a bit easier now. Black sky, obviously.
Yes, now that it's completely. I think the hard part obviously is, you know what, especially as a catcher, right? The first thing you turn around and look up, you're pretty much looking directly in.
Yeah.
There's a swing and a miss at a high fastball from Hill. Hill with an RBI double his last time up. Drove in the first run of the game. That's on the outside part of the plate for strike 2. So Julio trying to get back into a groove here after a couple of rough innings. 8-9-1 coming up for the Ironman in the bottom of the 5th. That is just high. A little extra on that one from Julio as he tries to get the swing there. No activity in either bullpen here at this point. There's a swing and a miss, strike 3, as that fastball was inside, and Connor Hill will go down. 6th strikeout of the ball game for Hernandez. That'll bring up Matt Beach. Beach is 0 for 2. Struck out and was on the receiving end of that fantastic diving play by Molson back in the 3rd. That is right there for strike one, and
Yeah.
Beach not a fan of that one, as that one will get moans and groans, and you can kind of see home plate umpire Andrew Downs kind of shaking his head. Maybe he thought he missed one there. But you know what has been known to happen in the history of umpiring? That is fouled away, and it's quickly 0-2. Not sure if anybody is aware out there. Umpires, strangely enough, not perfect.
Human beings. You know what I mean?
And I mean, that's coming from a guy who, I mean, we've heard it on the stream. We've no problem being hard on them. But they are human beings. Again, you know what? That happens. It's one of those things. You just kind of bury it down and move on to the next one. And that is high. And a little quick pitch from Hernandez there. I don't think Beach was a fan of that, as he'll go for a walk. Umpires tonight, Andrew Downs is calling balls and strikes. Craig Hope down the first base line. Brian Cummings down the third base line. That's in the dirt away for a ball. And a little bit of gamesmanship back and forth here after the quick pitch. Beach went for a walk after that one. So it's 2-2 now with 2 out. No problem, Frazier. Anytime, pal. Ask and you shall receive. The 2-2. There is fouled away. That one heads back into the seats. Two out here in the top of the fifth. Another pitch. That's on the inside part of the plate, strike three. Beach not a fan of that one, and he will walk away slowly. So a 3-up, 3-down inning for Hernandez as he redeems himself there. And we will go to the bottom of the fifth. It is the Alpines 4, the Ironmen 2. So we go to the bottom of the fifth inning. It's going to be Logan Walsh here. To answer your question, Frazier, yes, we are. We're just pulling it up here. We got our the stream on. It is 2-0 Islanders, bottom of the fifth from Fredericton. That's on the outside part of the plate for strike one. Only the second trip to the plate in the ball game for Walsh. He had a double scored back in the second inning. Again, picked up a third base on a wild pitch and scored on a pass ball.
And Chris, since you mentioned it, I've kind of been counting the balls that Hayden Dow's been throwing in the dirt here, and you're right. He does not mind spiking a curveball.
Nope. That is hit high in the air into right. That is going to be a tough play, but Hayden will call off the second baseman Clark and make the play for out number one. That is 9 in a row now retired by Dow. Again, Walsh was the last player to reach. When is the next game of this series? Wednesday night, 8 p.m. in Saint John. Wednesday night, 8 p.m. in Saint John. Next home game here, game 3, will be back here Friday night, 8 p.m. start. Inside part of the plate to Goss there for strike 1. And then game 4 is in Saint John Saturday night, 7 p.m. Just your big swing and a miss there. So quickly 0-2 here to Goss. Trying to get something going here is the Ironman of the top of the order coming up here. That is just outside. Again, Gier trying to buy a little bit outside there. Got the Saint John dugout a little more excited than they should have been. That one was well outside. There's a swing and a miss. Strike 3. So quickly 2 out here. And we go back to the top of the order for Mike McKay. Thanks, Skip. See you later. Be well. So Mike McKay steps back in here. Mike 0-2 in the ball game. Boy, there'd be a little 2-out rally here with McKay, and Keating would not go astray.
Looping a blast, as they say.
Yes, Alpine's taking no chances here with the corners in, even those 2 out. That ball is low and away, 2-0. And again, Dig, as you so eloquently said earlier, you know what? Obviously, free pass to McKay is a no-no because it's basically a double.
Yeah, exactly.
Keats playing. He's sure is in the on-deck circle. 2-1's the count here to McKay. 2 out in the bottom of the 5th. And it's 3-1.
Big part of the game right here. If the Ironmen are able to extend this inning.
And that's ball 4. So again, a huge walk there.
Now we'll see how aggressive Kevin Bowes wants to be. Down a couple runs here in the 5th. Obviously, with Chris up, you don't want to steal too many strikes. So if McKay's going to go, he's going to go early. But you can't get picked off in this situation. That is the number one no-no.
Absolutely. A throw over to first. And McKay going, and Legier, that one pops out of the glove. So I don't think he was going to have him anyway. But
there's your 180 feet right there.
So again, as we said, a walk to McKay ends up as a double. The count is 1-0 here to Keats. So now a little base hit here and cut that lead in half and keep this inning going. And that is a hard hit ball, just foul. Keats all over that one.
And if McKay can pull a little bit of focus from Dow out there at second base, by Chris a fastball.
That's outside. You know what we need? We need a good balk here.
A balk. Wow.
Need a good balk. We haven't had a good balk all year.
I don't know if I've seen
maybe a
balk
highly contested balk as well, just to spice things up a little bit. Now with barely a look out to McKay, just a quick glance. And that is hit hard up, back up the middle, and that'll be a base hit and will easily score McKay. So the free pass to Mike comes back to Han Hayden now, as Chris Keating with an RBI single has cut the lead in half. It is 4-3. The inning will continue. So again, that's the danger of Mike picking up the free pass, picks up a free 90 feet, and a little just to stick the bat out, excuse me, ball back up the middle. And just like that, it's a 1-run game, and now you got the tying run over at first base. I'll see how aggressive they do. Again, obviously Keats, who, obviously still maybe feeling some of the effects of that foot injury, and a mighty hack from Nick Leggett there. for strike one. So again, the Ironmen here in the bottom of the fifth have made it a 4-3 ball game. Now, I'll tell you what, not to be looking too far ahead, but extending these innings, Dig, increases the likelihood that we're going to see the top of the order again.
Yeah, exactly. It allows them to kind of get around again to
Yep.
this part of the order. And the other thing, the more pitches Hayden Dow throws in game one may pay dividends down further in the series, right? That's kind of the it's a long 7 games.
Yep. Quick turnaround, obviously, games 3 and 4, right? Friday, Saturday. Still a lot of chess to be played. And that is hit foul at a play as Leggett wastes that 0-2. And again, right, that's the thing. Obviously, you know, you got a quick 2 out here. Mike with the walk, Chris with the base hit. Now Nick is up again. You've increased the likelihood of the top of the order coming up again in this ball game. Just trying to give your guys chances again, you know, using every one of those 21 outs. And that's in the dirt. Nice scoop there by Legier. I'll tell you what, I am not really impressed with how nonchalant Legier is with some of those balls in the dirt. I mean, that was I know you guys might not be able to see that at home, but man, if you guys have ever seen Major League, that was the pure definition of an Olay right there. The 1-2. And that's outside for a ball. How's the crops? I mean, like my celery crops?
I think they'll get us through the winter.
I think they'll get us through the winter, yep. Stocks are good. Base hit through the right side here would be poor. That is down, and that will allow Keating to move up. So that is a pass ball. And I tell you what, it has been a long night for Marc Legier back there. Oh, the crowd. Very good crowd. Good crowd here again, first game. It's a little chilly here tonight. Good crowd in the ball field, or good crowd in the stadium, and a great crowd online. Almost 250 people watching across the different platforms tonight. And that is a hard ball just fouled in the third baseline. So Nick, who was down 0-2, has worked this back to a full count now. And again, after Chris being able to pick up that extra 90 feet, we are a base hit away from a potentially tied ball game. Extra 90 feet. That is down for ball 4. So a great at bat there from Leggett as he goes from 0-2 to working a walk. Yeah, it's chilly here, Frazier. I think we're down about, I mean, the weather says 13, feels like 12. I know up here in the third floor press box, we've got the sweaters on up here. It is chilly.
You remember when we were complaining about getting the fan and it was so hot up here?
I do not remember when we were complaining about how hot it was. And I told you, listen, we're going to have a month off and we're going to go from sweating like crazy up here to it being freezing. And yeah. Still looking for the pizza winner. Just so you know, if you're in the ballpark and you don't claim your pizza winner, I get the pizza. So big situation here. The Ironmen down 1 here in the bottom of the 5th with 2 out. The Ironmen have scored 1 here in the inning, and Jeff Watkin has come to the plate. Again, the Ironmen have extended this inning after Hayden got the first 2 outs. A walk, a base hit, and a walk. 3 really good at bats from the top of their order, and now Watkin is up here. See if he can reproduce what Ennis Hayden did. That is a little high, but called a strike.
Yeah, it may have been a little up, maybe a little away, but if you're Jeff, you got to trash it and step in and take this next one.
That is a nubber out in front of the plate. That could be trouble. And down, and that's going to get thrown away. The run will score. A broken play, check swing, and it is a tie ball game. I tell you what, put the ball in play and make things happen. A little check swing from Watkin there down the line. Dow had to make a spin play and threw it in the dirt in front of Huckins over there and unable to make the play. And Keating scores from second. And now it's 4-4, and the inning will continue here for Jake Cook.
Heads up base running there by Keats to beat it. A lot of guys, you see that ball down the line. You may not take off at full speed, but Chris chugging the entire way and able to tie this game.
Absolutely. That is on the outside part for a strike. That is officially scored a hit?
No, an error.
An error?
Yep.
Yes, it is. Okay, I'm having a hard time seeing through the mesh. This man, I got the big mesh loop. It drives me nuts. That is going to be a tough play, and that's going to be an infield single, and the bases will be loaded.
Nice play by Connor Hill to keep that ball in the infield. Jake just unfortunately too fast. Not going to get that guy at first base.
So an infield single for Jake Cook, and now the bases are loaded here for Charlie Mawson. We told you were only going to need the edge of your seat tonight. And that is down for ball one. So a Hayden Dow error has allowed this game to be tied and allowed this inning to continue. That is on the outside part of the plate for a strike. And Legier, I tell you what, he is having a heck of a time catching the baseball. That was right down Broadway, and he had no idea where the ball was.
Yeah, he just not looking super comfortable back there, and
I tell you what, I think he might have an issue with his hand here.
Yeah.
I think maybe he, and again, as a former catcher myself, I'll tell you what, sometimes
you jam that thumb up.
You jam that thumb, especially on the plays where you're a righty. And I'm not going to get too deep into story time, but when you're going to your glove side, that is a very easy to sting yourself. That is a
catcher's interference.
And that's catcher's interference. And that will give the Ironmen the lead as catcher's interference is called. So Mark Legier's night gets worse, as that would have been a ground out to end the inning, and instead the Ironmen take the lead. It's 5-4.
You could hear it right away, Chris. There was a distinct bang on the glove before Charlie made contact, and just like that, it's a 5-4 ball game.
I'll tell you what, we've said it many times here for the Ironmen this summer. Any way you can. They've scored a run on an error and catcher's interference here in the inning. And the inning continues now for Tyler McKay. And that is hit into right field. That's going to be a long run for Hayden, but he's going to get there and make the play. But the damage has been done as the Ironmen put 3 on the board here in the bottom of the 5th. And they had flipped the script here in game 1, as after 5 complete, it is your Chatham Miramichi Honda Ironmen 5, the Saint John Alpines 4. Ironmen Baseball Live is brought to you by O'Donaghues Irish Pub. Did you know we have happy hours 7 days a week from 3 to 6 p.m.? Come on by for a drink and a snack. We also have wing night every Thursday from 5 to 10 p.m. Head on over to our website, O'Donaghues.com, to check out our full menu and upcoming event schedule. O'Donaghues, welcome to your pub. So we go to the top of the 6th here, and it will be the catcher, Mark Legier. And there's a swing and a miss at a pitch that bounced a foot in front of the plate for strike one. So again, the Ironmen, what a ball game this has been. 3 runs in the bottom of the 5th. A bit of a broken inning there. An RBI single. Runner scoring on an error by pitcher Hayden Dow. And that is a grounder to third foul. And then a run scoring on catcher's interference.
It just kind of feels like one of those innings where anything and everything that could have went wrong.
You might remember in that inning, I said we needed a good balk, maybe a. I mean, you got to admit, like I maybe kind of spoke some oddities into existence. There's a swing and a miss, strike 3, 7th, I believe, strikeout of the ball game for Hernandez.
8th,
and the second time he has gotten Legier. That'll bring up Ryan Scott. Scott with a single to right field his last time up as part of the 3-run 4th inning that the Alpines had. And again, I'll tell you what, absolutely crucial for Hernandez to try to go 1, 2, 3 here, because then he would have 7, 8, 9 in the 7th. Again, like we talked about, the Ironmen getting their top of their order up again. For Hernandez here, it's trying to limit the chances of the Alpines top of the order coming back up again.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is just inside for a ball, 1-1.
The best game plan, obviously, is not facing Clark, Hill, and Beach for a 4th time.
Mm-hmm.
You really want to keep those bats on the bench for the rest of this.
Absolutely. And that is a grounder foul. So Hernandez up here 1-2. And again, like we said in the bottom of the 5th, the Ironmen, should it be needed, will have the top of the order up again at least one more time. So a lot of chess being played here. There's a swing and a miss, and that one fouled off, and Watkin unfortunately able to squeeze it. I think he wore that one a little bit too. I tell you what, the 3 guys who have put gear on behind the plate tonight have had a rough one.
All 3.
Both catchers and the umpire have they're going home beat up.
Yeah, they earned the paycheck tonight for sure.
I tell you what, Mark Legier is going to need a few bags of ice for that 3.5-hour bus ride back to the John tonight.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple of cold ones if he does so indulge. And that is a hard hit ball to third, and that is going to get through the glove of Logan Walsh, and that is going to be a single. I have to think that was an absolutely sculled one, and again, a quick hop. Walsh unable to come up with it. That's why they call it the hot corner. And they give him an error on that?
That was a hard hit baseball.
Yikes. That's why we're not the official scorers, folks. So the guys downstairs give him an error. I guess that's part of playing third base, maybe. We'll call it that. But either way, 1 out and 1 on here. That is down, I believe. But Galbraith's going to step in here. Galbraith and then Ennis Hayden. Danger lurking here for the Alpines.
Great time for that double play ball right at Chris Keating right here.
That's a foul ball back. That one caught a piece of Jeff on the way by. 1-1. Glory, Gloria. Man, that song gets in my head, and I need to stop. Live update from the Royals Islanders game, top of the 6th. It is 6-0 Islanders. The Islanders have broken open there in the 6th inning. That ball in the dirt, a great block by Jeff. It's like Isaac Edwards into the ball game for the Royals. So 6-0 Islanders from Royals Field. Here, 5-4 Ironmen, top of the 6th. That is hit hard towards second, and Molson lays out but unable to get that one. So that'll be a base hit. So an error and a single. And now 2 men on for the man with the biggest hit of the night for either team, Ennis Hayden. Last time up hit a ball that up until this point I'm not sure has landed. So Hayden going to step in here for the Alpines with runners at first and second and 1 out. And we're going to get a visit from Ironman pitching coach Terry Leggett. Again, probably discussing what we want to do here. Hayden has hit the ball hard twice. Had a single back in the third, and again, that 3-run home run in the fourth, which at the time gave the Alpines a 4-2 lead. That's right, Dan. Again, this is a great time while we get the pitch coach out here to promote CABC Baseball. You're looking to follow all things Canadian amateur baseball, head on over to CABC Baseball's Facebook page. Dan also does a great job of doing some streaming when he can. Did a fantastic job at the Men's Nationals from Regina, Saskatchewan just a few weeks ago. But if you're interested in all things Canadian amateur baseball, head on over to the CABC Baseball Facebook page. You won't regret it. So we're back in here, 1 out in the top of the 6th. 5-4 ball game, and it's Hayden. First pitch. That is in the dirt for a ball. Again, have to wonder how aggressive they are going to be with Hayden here. Again, obviously no first base open, but Hayden has hit the ball hard twice. After just taking the lead, job here is to keep it. No activity in either bullpen at this point. And that is hit hard to third. And Walsh is going to boot that one as well. So that will be Logan Walsh's second error of the inning. And again, that had the possibility at the very least to get the force out of the lead runner. I don't think they were going to be able to turn 2 there, but and I'll tell you what I like what I saw just there is Julio kind of giving his glove a bit of a clap there, trying to give his third baseman some encouragement. So that'll be Blucher steps in here. He was walked on 4 pitches and hit the ball hard. Lined out to short as last time. Runners in at the corner, or infielders in at the corners, and that is on the outside part of the plate for a strike. So again, the Alpines have the bases loaded here on 2 errors by third baseman Logan Walsh, sandwiched with a base hit, Ryan Galbraith. That is strike 2. Quickly 0-2.
The good news is here, Chris, you're 1 pitch away from getting out of this inning and back in here.
That's right. That's right. You're always 1 pitch away, right? Again, this is the 8-9 hitters. Got to take advantage. 0-2 here. That is in the dirt, and a great block by Watkin to keep it in front. And again, you know what? This game has had it all. And, you can see right in, especially in a best-of-7 series, you know what? This is like playing chess. It's trying to take advantage of when your opponent opens the door. The 1-2 to Blucher, and that is outside for a ball.
Good pitch by Julio. Mm-hmm. Time to make a better one, though. You can't go 3-2 and give him the fastball.
Nope.
Doesn't matter. He's a junior affiliate. If he's in the lineup, he can hit a fastball just as well as anybody else. So
got to go. I trust in the changeup right here. Julio steps off. Wants a new sign.
Didn't like the one he got.
Maybe playing some mind games out there. Hard to say. And that is right there for strike 3. And that'll be out number 2. Blucher doesn't like the call. Alpine's dugout not a fan of that call, as they felt like that one was up. That'll bring up Connor Huckins, who, again, as we said earlier, hit 152 in the regular season and is 0 for 2 here in the ball game tonight. Wednesday in Saint John, Friday Chatham, Saturday Saint John. No, the only part you have wrong there, Brent, is the last part is Monday. Friday, Saturday, Monday. That is hit hard towards right field. That's going to be a base hit. Huckins comes through in the clutch, and they will score 1, and the ball game is tied. A clutch base hit from Connor Huckins. And it is a 5-5 ball game as the number 9 man comes through, first pitch swinging, and puts that through the second hole. And it is 5-5.
No quit in either of these teams tonight,
Nope.
Chris. Both are putting up good at bats, and like you say, an unlikely hero, and Connor Huckins ties the game right here. Like you said,
Well, and two massive things there. Number one, obviously, drives in the run and he keeps the inning going, and we're back to the top of the order now. So it's Clark, Hill, and Beach.
yeah.
So much like the Ironman did in the last inning, right? Making things happen for their top of the order guys. A massive base hit there from Connor Huckins. And that is hit high and deep to right field. That is going to be Goss comes over and makes the play. So the Alpines take advantage of a couple errors by third baseman Logan Walsh, and Connor Huckins ties the game with an RBI single. We are going to the bottom of the sixth inning here. It is a 5-5 ball game here in Game 1 of the New Brunswick Senior Baseball League semifinals between your Chatham Miramichi Ironmen and the Saint John Alpines. So we go to the bottom of the sixth. A defensive change for the Alpines as Jackson Mitchell has taken over catching duties. And again, we said it appears as though Mark Legier might have picked up a hand injury there on one of those pitches. And now we have a new catcher in. So Logan Walsh made a couple errors in the last inning. Immediate chance to atone for it here. That is down for a ball. So again, 8-9-1 here for the Ironmen. 5-5 ball game. That's in the dirt. Ball 2. Getting an update here. 8-0 is the score now. The Islanders ahead of the Royals at Royals Field. That is hit hard towards third, but foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes here. And Walsh, Goss, and then the top of the order. Looking ahead to the top of the 7th for the Alpines, it'll be the 2, 3, 4 hitters. Well, Hill, Beach, and then we'll see if Jackson Mitchell stays in the game to hit for himself. Can't imagine they have that many catchers on their roster, but again, expanded rosters here, junior affiliates in the lineup. Full count pitch here to Walsh. And that is hit hard in the left field line. That is a fair ball. Walsh is going to round first on his way to second, and he will be in there safely. So picks himself up a little bit here with a leadoff double in the bottom of the 6th. And Logan Walsh is going to be out at second base here with nobody out. Got to imagine that Zach Goss is all
Bunting.
in on
Bunting.
Oh,
Zach Goss is bunting.
Let's see if I can get his attention up here, give him some signs from up in the press box here.
This is the most obvious bunt in all time. The third baseman's going to come in. The only question is if Saint John wants to run the wheel play to try to get Logan at third base.
Here's the thing. Dow's had the ball in the dirt a lot tonight. You have a fresh catcher out there. I'm just saying maybe you take one here and see what happens. Take a pitch.
Fair enough. I think Zach's going to show us here real soon that this bunt is getting laid down.
And he bunts, and that's down the first baseline. That's going to be trouble, and that is going to stay there.
What a bunt by Zach Goss.
And I'll tell you what, a great bunt from Goss that looked like it was going foul, and it looked like it might have hit a rock or a clump of chalk or something, because he kicked back into fair territory. I tell you what, we've seen that a couple of times this year with the dirt here, that ball just hugs the line.
Yeah.
And again, Dow was taken, obviously, in that situation, I don't think Dow had a chance to get Goss, maybe remembering that he made that error last inning. But now it's runners at first and third with nobody out and back to the top of the order for Mike McKay. That ball is at the bottom of the zone for strike one. So the infield in here for the Alpines.
Like we said, give the top of your order another chance, and this is a great spot. Runner on third, no outs, fly ball, and you take a lead in this game going into the seventh.
And Goss is going, and they're just going to give it to him as nobody covering second. So that takes the double play. Not that they were looking for the double play anyway, but now runners at second and third here with nobody out. Now we'll see. Obviously, you're not going to put McKay on to face Keating, but 1-1 count here. That is down for ball two.
And we got some action in the Saint John bullpen for the first time tonight.
Yeah, I've been trying to see who it is down there. I can't get a numero.
22?
That ball is hit out of play. 22, that's Dow, so that's not him. There's a swing and a miss, strike three. A massive strikeout there for Hayden Dow. That could be Ryan Galbraith in the bullpen, I believe, 23. I think that's who that is. The only other 20s that they have are Galbraith and Hayden. And they're going to... And Adam Clark is going to tell Keats to take first base. So they're going to load it up here to get the double play. Yeah, the only other 20s they have are Beach, Galbraith, and Enos Hayden. So I believe that's Ryan Galbraith warming up. So critical situation here. Bases loaded, one out, tie ball game here in the bottom of the sixth, and Nick Leggett at the dish. Alpine's playing for the double play up the middle. And that is hit hard towards third. That's going to get by. Blucher unable to make the play, and the Ironmen take the lead 6-5. A hard hit ball towards third base. Blucher had a chance to make the play and unable to come up with it. And that is going to be scored an error, E5, which will allow the run to score, and it is a 6-5 ball game. And the bases will remain loaded for Jeff Watkin. Again, that's a very, very tough play. And again, they've changed the scoring actually to a hit. And that is hit high in the air and deep to left. Hayden, or that's not Hayden, that's Scott over there is back. And he will throw home. But that will be a sac fly. And the Ironmen have taken a 7-5 lead. Brody McDonald was within 4 outs of a perfect game in Fredericton, but just gave up a hit in the sixth.
Holy cow.
A
perfect game?
Well, see, and so Dan, we had the stream up. Like, I obviously wasn't watching a whole lot of it. Like, I just had it on my phone to have the score. So I had no idea. I think it's still 8-0. So 7-5 here now. Runners remain at first and second for Jake Cook. And Zach Goss very quickly down to the bullpen here for the Ironmen. And that is a hit towards second. Clark up with it. And that'll be out number 3. But the damage has been done as the Ironmen scored 2 here in the bottom of the 6th. And they will head to the 7th. Last kick of the can for the Alpines. It is your Chatham Miramichi Ironmen 7, the Saint John Alpines 5. Ironman Baseball Live is brought to you by O'Donaghues Irish Pub. Come by and try one of our new menu favorites, the tot of the morning to you. Mayo, lettuce, tomato, egg, bacon, cheese, and 2 tater tot rings, all on a brioche bun served with home fries. How can you pass that up? We have brunch every Saturday and Sunday from 9 a.m. until noon. O'Donaghues, welcome to your pub. What a ball game we have been treated to here in game 1. We head to the 7th inning. It is 7-5 Ironman. The Ironman scored 1 in the bottom of the first and the bottom of the second to take a 2-0 lead. Jeff Watkin with an RBI single, and Logan Walsh picked up a double and then a wild pitch in the pass ball to make it 2-0. The Alpine scored 1 in the top of the 4th, and again, we have said it, the play by Charlie Mawson
To limit that
to
to one
limit
run.
that inning to a run instead of 2, probably 3. A 3-run bomb by Ennis Hayden in the top of the 4th gave the Alpines a 4-2 lead. The Ironmen stormed back with 3 in the bottom of the 5th, taking advantage of some misplays, a catcher's interference. The Alpines tied the game in the top of the 5th, or top of the 6th. The Ironmen fresh off scoring 2 in the bottom of the 6th, 7-5. Julio Hernandez trying to finish what he started here. That is just outside for a ball. 2, 3, 4 hitters here. It's going to be Hill, Beach, and it looks like Jackson Mitchell, who entered the game as a defensive replacement last inning, will hit for himself here. That is foul back. Look out! As the camera wore that one. Holy time. We may need some tech support on the camera here in the 7th inning of the ball game, Dig. Jumpins. First time we've had that happen all year. The 1-1. And that is high for a ball. Try to push it in towards the fence. Yeah. That is hit high in the air. That's good, Dig. In the infield. Back of second. Olsen under it and makes the play. The first out of the 7th inning. Yeah, that's going to have to do, Dig. I mean, the fence isn't in the way, so. Some emergency tech support. Listen, here's the thing, boys. This live TV. Anything can and will possibly go wrong. Like a foul ball back smashing the camera away. Again, want to thank everybody. Season high viewership here on the stream. Almost 300 viewers across the different platforms to witness game 1 of the series. Again, game 2 will be Wednesday night in Saint John, 8 p.m. start. Game 3 back here Friday night for an 8 p.m. start. We'll be live for that, of course, and that is in the dirt for a ball. And I tell you what, the 2 runs in the bottom of the 6th makes a big deal because you're not so worried about the solo home run.
Yeah, no, exactly. You can still be aggressive with these St. John hitters and know that you got one to play with.
And that is hit high in the air, foul. I think it's going to be out of play. It will be. So 1-1 here to Beach. Jackson Mitchell, who is standing on deck, has 1 at bat at the senior level this year. He's 1 for 1.
Can't do much better than that. You know what I mean?
The game as a defensive replacement. And I'll tell you what, this is a critical out for Julio Hernandez right here. And that is fouled into the first base camera well. Camera well.
Look at you go.
I've been watching too much Major League Baseball. I mean, we'll probably have a camera down there 11 months from now.
I would say so.
There you go. Already thinking ahead to 2026 Nationals. 1-2, here's the count to Beach. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and a big second out for Hernandez.
I'd say that fastball had a little bit more zip than the rest of them tonight, Chris.
I would say that is the hardest pitch Hernandez has thrown tonight. So now, last out here for the Alpines, and it is Jackson Mitchell. Again, entered the game as a defensive replacement in the bottom of the sixth for catcher Mark Legier. I think he's just a little pause here as the Ironman bench trying to line Jake Cook up with where they would like him to be. That is on the outside part of the plate for strike one. Ryan Scott on deck should Mitchell reach here. What a ball game we have been treated to here tonight. It has been back and forth from the first pitch. That is high for a ball, 1-1. Great crowd here in attendance, great crowd online. As the Ironmen 1 out away from taking a 1-0 series lead here. That is strike two. A slider right at the bottom of the zone, and the Alpines are down to their last strike. The crowd comes alive here at Ironman Field. God. The 1-2. That is just outside. A little extra sauce on that one from Hernandez as well. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. The Ironmen hanging on to a 2-run lead. Julio's got the one he wants. Rocks and fires. And that is a number down to first. Leggett with the big hop. And that's the ball game. The Ironmen once again come from behind, and they will take game 1 of the series by a score of 7-5. Julio Hernandez goes the distance, gives up 5 runs on 7 hits. His team commits a couple errors behind him. Hayden Dow will take a loss in going the distance for the Alpines, gave up 7 runs on 8 hits, and his team committed 3 errors behind him. And I'll tell you what, Dig, like we said after they got down 4-2, this team does not give up. They use all 21 outs, and you know what? Come out on the right side of where you want to be. There is no better feeling than being up 1-0 in a series.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, to talk about, like we said, the points, big points for the series moving forward, winning the first game is the biggest point you can get. Going up 1-0 as opposed to behind the 8 ball right away, down 0-1, it wasn't pretty, but you're right. They didn't quit. A lot of great at-bats, a gutsy performance from Julio getting through all 7, striking out 10, and just, you know, you move on to Saint John Wednesday night, and it's a new game, and you're hoping to build.
Well, and the thing is, too, right, you know, there's something to be said for, you know, we had best on best here tonight. Both Hernandez and Dow had moments in the game where they looked great, moments in the game where they struggled. Hernandez came out, faced the minimum through 2, got a little shaky in the middle, then reverted back towards the end.
Yep.
Dow struggled early. But again, anytime you can beat their 1A guy,
you got to feel good.
That's an advantage, right?
Yep.
You now know, hey, we can beat their best guy. And they, despite their best efforts, and again, Saint John didn't necessarily play a bad game here, couldn't beat ours. So now you go Wednesday night back down there. You know, we have no idea what the pitching matchups are going to be.
No clue.
Totally depends on who's available to travel. It's obviously playoffs, everybody on deck. But again, the primary goal here was 1-0, not 0-1.
Yep.
So that is going to do it for tonight, folks. Again, the rest of the series schedule, or the next few games at least, Wednesday night, 8 p.m. from Memorial Field in Saint John. I most certainly imagine that the Alpines Facebook page or their X page will have a feed there, so make sure you keep your eyes out for that. We will be live for Game 3 Friday night, 8 p.m. start here from Ironman Field. On behalf of the best color man in the business, Jake Dignam, who has already left the press box, I am Chris Jardine, voice of the Chatham Miramichi Honda Ironman. The Ironmen win Game 1 by a score of 7-5. Thank you so much to O'Donaghues Irish Pub for sponsoring the stream. We could not do O'Donaghues Ironmen Baseball Live without their support year after year. And, of course, we want to thank all of you out there, 300 strong across all platforms watching the stream tonight. Thank you so much. We do it for you. Wouldn't be the same without you guys watching. Thank you to everybody who interacted in the chat. We greatly appreciate it. We will see you Friday night. The final score here from Ironman Field is your Chatham Miramichi Ironman 7, the Saint John Alpines 5. Take care and enjoy the night.